Hi, my name is Giovanna Bailey, and I'm here to discuss the new world of human capital management, how it's changed, and why this information is crucial for the success of your company. The business world is changing, and HR needs to evolve to keep up. Your success in evolving ultimately defines how your company will succeed in our current business climate. And it's not stagnant. You can't expect to make some dramatic shift in HR and boom, you're set. Rather, your company needs to adapt to the mindset of continual evolution. This change is necessary due to four main factors. One, the changing political and economic climate. I think it's no secret to anyone that the times are changing and our business world is affected. Number two, we are in the midst of a digital revolution. Everything is becoming digitized. Number three, we have an augmented workforce. In other words, a change in how work gets done. And number four, changing talent demands. Right now, the workforce is made up of 4 different generations, and in the next 10 years, it'll be almost 50% millennials. We need to figure out what this group needs and how our companies need to adjust. I'm sure your company has felt these changes and found how difficult it is to keep up. If you haven't, I challenge you to consider your day-to-day life outside of work. How are you purchasing home goods, for example? Where do you go to rent a movie? Certainly you can agree that the urgent drives to Target and the weekend trips to Blockbuster have been replaced by Amazon Prime, Netflix, and other similar methods. Now think about your work life. In the past 3 years, has your work life gained the same amount of digital capability and efficiency as your personal life? Are recruiters in your office saying, "Alexa, please send me a qualified candidate"? No. It's time for the workplace to catch up. In looking at the recent Deloitte Global Human Capital Trends report, we can get more insight as to why this is. According to this report, even with all innovation available to us, business productivity has not kept pace with progress. Let me show you a chart. All right, can you see this okay? There we go. So you'll see here technology change, which is on a huge upswing, and business productivity, right? So since the Great Recession, business growth stands at only 1.3%. Hard to believe? I agree. So we need to look at why there's a gap here and what we can do to bridge that gap. With all these tools, businesses should be much more productive, right? Seems to make sense. So why the gap? People. The workforce needs to adapt to this technology, otherwise it's useless. This speaks to a unique need we all have for real human experiences, regardless of the technology available. I'm a reader, right? I have my Kindle, my iPad, my Audible account, but sometimes I like to go buy a book so I can turn the pages, feel it in my hands as I read. We see the same trend with newly opened brick and mortar Amazon locations and the fact that people still buy CDs and board games. So while we're in the midst of a digital revolution, people still crave real experiences. And it's up to businesses to find effective and creative ways to adapt and blend these two things. So let's get creative. First off, we need to take a look at your HR organizational design. Who are the people in your HR department and how are they spending their time? We need to make sure leaders are focused on strategic initiatives to make sure they're keeping up with the digital revolution and allocating tactical matters appropriately. Second, HR competencies. Yes, your HR team can onboard an employee, but what about their ability to create things like company culture? As we discussed earlier, talent demands are changing, and your team needs to be able to create a culture to attract and retain the right people. Third, HR digital strategy, or simply asking how can technology reshape what we do? Wondering an example of this? Here we go. So, I have a dog. I'll show you a picture of him. He's a very big boy, right? Almost the same size as me, and he gets hungry. So In the olden days, so to speak, the system for this would be my dog's hungry. I'm going to maybe go to the phone book, look up the closest pet food store, get out my map, look up directions to see where they're located, get in my car, drive there, pick out the food, pull out my wallet, pay at the cash register, drive home, right? So now with the digital strategy in place, what do? I can say, hey, Alexa, order me dog food. And Alexa can keep track of what I ordered last time, and within a couple days, and sometimes even day of, if I do Amazon Prime now, it'll arrive at my doorstep, and little Ace here will get his dinner right away. So that's an example of how digital strategy changes things. Now, it's only when we have these elements locked down that we can rely on our HR organizations to help us evolve and succeed. So, what can ADP do, right? So, first off, call me. I'm in sales. And ADP's talent, like myself, are more proactive than reactive, meaning I'm not going to wait for my phone to ring for you to tell me your problem and then propose a solution, blah, blah, blah. ADP keeps me in the loop with changing trends and business needs, so I can be proactive in meeting the needs of my clients, even before they know they have them. Second, ADP is kind of a big deal, especially when it comes to data. We have over 530,000 clients, and we're able to anonymously share that data to help you get better insights into the business world and your company. Third, remember when we talked about how regardless of amazing technology, people still crave human experience? The HR ecosystem we've created is designed specifically to bridge the gap between great people and great technology. So now what's next? We discussed why and how your HR organization needs to evolve, and certainly ADP has solutions we can tailor to your specific business needs. Let's talk soon and discover how ADP can help your organization ahead of the curve.